The graveyard.
Praise Ein Sof. Thank you for coming to our aid so quickly, Sister Ada.
You said it was urgent. Has something happened to Mother Miriam's body?
No, in some ways. That would have been easier. There is now a second untimely death.
Oh.
Another murder. On the very same day. This can't be a coincidence.
That isn't for me to say, but this time, the victim is a younger acolyte named Isaac. His remains were found in the grave that was dug for Mother Miriam. Poor kid's throat was slit.
Ooh.
Gruesome. Who was at the graveyard when the body was found?
Only 3 people were present this afternoon. A scholar, an embalmer, and a grave tender.
Yo, what does an embalmer do? Anyone know? What even is that profession? And is a grave tender like someone who digs the graves, or do they just exist? My streamer's dead. Hello? Your streamer is experiencing minor issues. What are the minor issues? Are we back yet? Are we back? Is everything fine? Oh, hello, I'm dropping frames around here. Are we back? Hello, can you guys see me? Yeah? I was learning a song on the guitar and practicing. Not yet. Jaffa, can you see me? Streamlabs reported my stream 1 hour and 5 minutes. Yo, even Streamlabs saw my stream died. Yo, that's mad. Alright. Are we back once more fucking again? Let's do this. Let's continue. We back. Like I asked, what does an embalmer do? What?
Father Augustine is a scholar, visiting for Mother Miriam's funeral. The victim was his apprentice. Sister Nerissa, an embalmer with a sterling reputation, preparing Mother Miriam's body for burial.
Embalms bodies, removes organs from the body. Okay.
Finally, Abraham, the grave tender, a layman who has kept the grounds of the abbey for many years.
We know too much. Our Skyrim players.
None of them say they were near the grave until after the body was discovered.
Which means someone is lying.
I don't know why, but Streamlabs. Nah. I think the term Egyptian shit was flagged because you said a country plus like a bad term, I guess, and they were like, whoa.
No matter. Ein Sof sees all. We will unmask their lies and bring the truth forward.
London bad,
I
London
swear
shit.
it.
Mr. Streamlabs, I am not racist. Wait. Alright, so why did that go through? I mean, your message went through eventually because I approved it. This game isn't what you thought it was. It's a detective-like game. I thought it was like a visual novel. Nah, so this is... Now we're outside in the graveyard. Oh, they were taking her body, but someone was bodied. Someone essentially died while trying to get rid of her body.
You must be Father Augustine. The victim was your apprentice, correct?
Oh, Augustine.
Correct. And you are Sister Ada, the exorcist.
Oh, he's got a third eye as well.
It is a unique pleasure.
This the dude that brought the research paper on the spear into the other scenario. Thank you, but I only serve Ein Sof according to my calling. Why are you here, Father? I'm visiting in preparation for Mother Miriam's sudden funeral. It is a true blessing to witness your holy work, Sister Ada. I pray Isaac can rest in peace. How long did Isaac study under you? Did you know him well? Life of the party, yeah. He was a fine apprentice, a ready mind, and willing soul. I will mourn him in my own way. So, getting drunk. But I must admit, the prospects of witnessing an exorcism is an unexpected silver lining. If I find you guilty, Father Augustine, you'll find the experience to be unpleasant. Tell me now, what happened this afternoon? Leave nothing out. I began by taking an afternoon stroll. Alright, let's start.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
So he went in. Is he gonna despawn or just stand outside of it? Oh, someone came out to greet him. Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walburga. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so you just stared at the statue for like half an hour.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
So you walked around.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Isaac.
Then you called for
I
help.
was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
And those... Where did he come from? Is the stream fine? It says I dropped frames. Is everything Gucci? Okay, let's go inside. Next person, the embalmer.
Praise Ain Soph. You must be the famed exorcist. It is an honor, sister. I'm Nerissa, and I serve Ain Soph by preparing the dead for burial.
Yeah, the stream is fine, otherwise I'd be screaming.
I take
Fair
pleasure in providing cleanliness and comfort for bodies after their souls have departed.
I see. Nerissa, how did you know the victim?
Not at all.
What,
The
those
first time I
footprints?
saw him, he was
like
curled
goes
in
in
that
circles.
grave, dirty and bloody. The whole afternoon, I prepared Mother Miriam's body for burial. There isn't much else to tell.
Didn't she meet him outside in the door front? Because he went in.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
That contradicts Augustine's when he said that his apprentice walked in. Let me skip.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities. Just after dark, I heard a scream from the back field. A dead body was found.
Let's start off by
Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial.
contradicting this.
I was alone.
For that. Just easy. Lies, Nerissa. Father Augustine saw you speaking to Isaac by the entrance of the mortuary. Isaac entered the mortuary, admitted. Burial, there's no hiding it. Please know nothing untoward happened. The victim only stopped by for a moment. Okay.
The truth is that early this afternoon, I informed the truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day.
Okay, so she opened the door, greeted him, then
When I
she
showed
went
him
in.
the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up. Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Okay, so he left there. She said it was not up to standard, but let's see what Third Eye is saying. Because we found one lie. A famine survivor. Without faith, I could have never preserved through those days. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, I don't think we have anything else to contradict right now, so let's leave. And let's see what the final person has to say. Why did he throw that bouquet down though? Let's see why. A bundle of fresh blossoms, like that found on a grave. Okay, why? I was trying to think, like, why would there's footprints here? Muddy footprints. Okay, let's talk to her about these muddy footprints, shall we? Ask about them. I apologize for the filth. Normally the mortuary is kept pristine, I assure you, but not today. But today is hardly a normal day. Okay, that's it. So shoot her. I can't shoot her because it might not even be her that killed him in the end. Surgical tools. Hello. Found some surgical tools outside. There's the body. Victim's body and Isaac, and he's the final suspect.
Release me! I had nothing to do with that boy.
You must be Abraham, the grave tender.
I am. I've worked here for 30 years, worked hard without complaint. Look around you. Every bush trimmed, every headstone polished because of me. I have done all that is asked of me and no more and more. Abraham did nothing wrong, he's a king. Yet the moment something goes wrong, I'm the one to blame. It's not personal. Even the most steadfast among us may fall prey to Lucifer's whispers, Abraham. It was the woman. Never trust a woman. Jaffa? Why did I read that out loud? You dug the grave in which the victim was found, didn't you? Actually, I didn't dig anything today. Ooh, then who did? How would I know? I've been busy working as always.
As the grave tender, any crimes that took place here are your responsibility. If you are truly innocent, hide nothing and tell me what happened. We'll find the truth together.
What did he do today?
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
Well, no, because she talked to Abraham apparently. So that's a contradiction I can say.
When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
He went towards the benches. Okay.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
So he sat on this bench and he saw him walk past. Okay.
Suddenly I heard someone call for help from the back field.
Alright, let's start with this. Ask and are you claiming that you didn't dig the grave? Let's go back here.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the
present. Alright, let's see why did he lie? I spent the early afternoon tending the bushes by the mortuary. You might trim the hedges, but not most days. But you didn't today, did you? Instead, Nerissa asked you to dig a grave for the funeral. That's true. That it's a normal part of my job. I shouldn't have lied about it. I know. Don't be Abraham. I worried that if I told the truth, I thought you would think I killed the boy, but I didn't. When you lied to me, you veiled the truth from the eye of Ein Sof. Speak the truth now. There is no room for error. There is no room for error in this investigation. Why was that so hard to read? Fine. I dug the grave for the funeral, just doing my job, but it was empty when I left. Okay, let's see what he actually did.
Nerissa told me there'd be an urgent funeral in the evening. I'm not usually told who it's for. So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig
he
a
sprinted.
new grave. The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
Okay, so he was digging.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful. Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave.
Okay, he kept digging. Then he headed back in.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Okay, and the rest is fine. Let's see what he's hiding. Integrity. I regret lying. I'm an honest person, but I felt like I had to defend myself somehow from being accused. Okay. He's a simp. Okay.
When I headed back to I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the bench.
What did
After
she say?
Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
She... Oh wait, someone say pandemic special. So no, but he walked through here apparently, according to that. Let's look for evidence now, shall we? We have everyone's like somewhat story. Let's see. Examine the statue. We got the statue. A statue, nice. A sickle. Sickle, is there blood on it? Lightweight blades slices through the air to trim grass and chop weeds. Its sharp edge could easily injure someone. Okay, what is this? Headstone. Noble grave. It's a grave. What else is there to it? Okay, so what can we find more? Let's check the body. It's Abraham. We don't know who it was. Come on. Okay, I got that bloody liver. We got a bloody liver on a table of entrails, still partly warm and moist. It appears mangled in some way, perhaps smashed. Let's see her workstation. Schedule. The record shows 2 notable entries for today, both explicitly authorized by Abbot Gregory. Funeral for Mother Miriam at sundown. Visit by Augustine. Unrestricted access granted. Okay, let's check the shovel. Shovel. Found hanging in the back of the area. Heavy, bulky, kicked with dirt. So that confirms that he did dig the grave. But where is the Isaac? The victim, a teenaged youth aspiring to be a scholar raised in the church. He joined Augustine as an apprentice 8 months ago. Okay, so victim's body. The apprentice's youthful face is serene above his cleanly slit throat. With no bruising, however, an angry scar runs across his stomach, like the liver that it was pulled out. Okay. So, whose muddy footprints are these? We got surgical tools there. Let's talk to the gravetender again. So,
when the grave was ready, when I headed back to I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill.
Did you leave
towards
these
the benches.
footprints? These can't be my footprints. Oh, fair enough. Easy as that, isn't it? They just can't. Okay, Nerissa.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
What did you do? Do you consider your work complete then? I did my best given the circumstances. I always do my best, sister. Alright, let's surgical tools I found. He's actually got size 3 feet, so it can't be him. I found your multi-tool, Narissa. I'm truly grateful, Sister Ada. Where did you find this? It was lying in the grass near the rear staircase. Impossible unless someone had stolen it. Okay, so someone's not telling the truth. So we have confirmed these two
Early this
spoke.
afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
So that is definitely what happened. Those two spoke. We can't confirm
I arrived
him.
at the graveyard with Isaac from...
Indeed, were you close to her father? No, but Abbot was busy with the mass preparations to hold her funeral, so I was trusted with this task. Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga.
He looked at the statue.
What craftsmanship! And so well. For most of
And
the
he went for a
afternoon, I was
stroll.
walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring. At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside.
Wait. Where is he at this point?
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
At sunset, I wandered to the back
Can I
area to meet with
contradict him?
Isaac. I was...
Okay, I can't. I thought maybe he saw him. Can I ask if
For
he
most
saw
of
him?
the
I spent the remainder...
You were there until someone called for help? He didn't see him. Okay, what about that stroll? So I can't ask him about if he saw him on the stroll. That's what I wanted. I wanted to see if he, while resting on the bench, saw him strolling. Because apparently he didn't notice him. But the stroll did happen because we see it here. If we return. We see him strolling around here. Look at him run. Meow.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
So he went up, she went there. She could have ran down. Okay. We need some more information, don't we? What critical part am I missing? The footprints. Whose were they? Whose footprints could have... Let's ask about the footprints then, shall we? Let's see, she's close by. Are these your foot... No, we asked her and she said it's normally clean. What about him? Does he know anything about the footprints? Footprints in the mortuary. Unfortunately, I know nothing about this. Perhaps they are at Isaac's. Okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry if that was loud. Okay. We don't have anything about him.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the
Did you enjoy the statue? Was there something in particular about the statue that caught your eye? Given its age, it's been immaculately maintained. The groundskeeper must be skilled. Is that what we said? The statue of Sigma, the founder of Abbey, and patron of the exorcist. Our good old Saint Walpurga. Are you quizzing me about our patron saint? I'm asking what it means to you, Father. Very well. It honors her final victory against Lucifer in the Abbey's chapel. A true holy site. Okay. So, someone's lying, and we don't. I don't know who. We know he dug the grave. Can anyone confirm it? Did he see him sitting on the bench? Okay.
At sun.
Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave. Contradict? No, I can't contradict that. Okay.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
Okay, I think he's fine. Let's move on to her.
Mid-afternoon, early this afternoon, the truth is that the apprentice did come by. He
Okay.
asked for when I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then...
So he didn't take the bouquet with him. No, he decided it was best to return empty-handed rather than bring something unworthy. Okay, so this is the bouquet. I prepared these for visitors to the cemetery. My bad. Okay, so she took Isaac to
Then
the
the
exit.
boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Did he see him?
Then I got back to it and finished. I took a long break while digging. It's within my...
Ah, there we go. On my family's honor, I swear that I saw no one while digging the grave. I certainly did not see Narissa or the boy come through. Okay, so there is a conflict. Aha.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field.
Conflict revealed. Here we go. I don't know about why Abraham would lie, but the victim left through the door. I swear I saw it myself. So there is a contradiction where she said she took him out that door. And where did she say...
Then the boy asked to be taken after Abraham's disturbance. I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
But he walked through here. Did he not?
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
But she was over there. In his story, she was there doing something else. Can I contradict that? Nope. So there's a contradiction. There's a conflict there.
And I got back to it and finished digging the grave. I took a long break while... Then I got back when the grave was ready. I walked back to the mortuary to let Narissa
Okay, so I
know.
can't contradict that further. So then he headed towards here. And that is verified by both of them, so...
When I headed...
So you were dismissed early in the day. Why didn't you go home? Narissa made it clear that I should leave her to work, so I did, but there's plenty of other groundskeeper work to be done. Okay.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill
But
towards
why
the
did she
benches.
sprint to there and drop a liver there? Why would she be holding the liver?
Back to the
What did she say she was doing?
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I let him out the mid-afternoon. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming
about the
to
liver?
the best of my humble ability.
That is Mother Miriam's embodied liver. Seems rather deformed. What happened to it? My apologies, Sister Ada. I must have mishandled it. Organs are very delicate, you know. Okay. But the victim is also missing. Can you perform an autopsy on the victim's body, Narissa? I have your multi-port tool here. Is that truly necessary, Sister Ada? The victim's cause of death is quite clearly from having his throat slit. There's something particular about the the scar on his fucking stomach. Fuck that word. Let's reopen it and see what lies within. As you wish. Please give me a moment. Abdominal. There we go. Thank you, Jaffa. There, it's ready. Good, let's have a closer look. Strange liver. What is this? His liver, it's loose. It's not attached to the rest of his organs. It's an embodied liver. You can tell by the patchy coloring. Okay. So, the body has an embodied liver. Let's ask him about it.
I walked through the mortuary.
What do you know about this? Whatever it is, it's embodied already. The chemical smell is always around the mortuary. Okay. Right, so...
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my
two
humble
opportunities.
abilities.
Contradict that? Okay, I can't contradict that. What can I contradict her on? Not sure. The sickle? Ask about that. That's Abraham's sickle for cutting back the grass. Okay, let's ask Abraham about it.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
You should play Disco Elysium. I don't think I've heard of that one, but yeah, I'll look it up. The grass grows like weeds here. I use that to keep everything tidy and neat, the way a graveyard should be. Okay. Let's see. Ask him about it. It's like this, but less shit. Okay. Thank you. I usually only see the bodies when they're all cleaned up. Nerissa must have not finished with that one yet. Okay. Can I ask about others? Ask about her. Nerissa handles all the business in the mortuary and tells me when there's things that need to be done. Okay. So we know he has integrity. Can we question her on his integrity?
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the
okay. I didn't say it contradicts anything. I was just gonna inquire about it. Okay, so I don't have anything about this guy.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard.
Let's ask him about this sickle.
Merely observed.
The tall man with the beard. I saw him holding it at one point. Where did you see him?
At sunset, I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. For most of the afternoon, I was walking. Then I
Where
passed
did you
through
see
the
him?
graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga. What craftsmanship!
What about this embodied thing? Was that from Isaac's body? You must be mistaken, as it's entirely dried out and discolored. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Bloody liver. This was in Mother Miriam's body. I conducted several anatomical studies, and I've never seen an organ mangled this way. Okay. I have nothing against this guy.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard.
That is a lengthy stroll. Tell me about what were you doing? Okay. You doubt me? Show me proof I was doing something else. That's the thing, I can't. I don't know anything about you.
After Abraham's disturbance, I
She
completed
was-
the embalming. to
She
the
said
best
she
of
was
my
in
humble
here this entire
abilities.
time.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Oh wait, I can say that. Contradict the stroll? No, other way around, other way around. Him,
For most of the afternoon, I was walking
Contradict.
through the graveyard.
head
Merely-
towards branch. Okay. What do you mean? They must have seen each other, right? At one point. Where he said he was heading down. Because in Abraham's story,
I walked through the mortuary,
You went through
then
there.
headed downhill towards the benches.
he didn't see him once. There.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
You saw him come up there. And he sprinted over there. But actually,
For
he
most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing.
can his stroll contradict Abraham
I
actually.
spent the remainder of the afternoon.
Okay, no, I can't.
I walked.
You didn't run into anyone. No one passed. Okay. You sure about that? Okay, what doesn't make sense?
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot.
He
to
headed
dig a
to the
new
grave.
The ground was hard.
And started digging.
Took me some time. I took a long break while digging. The ground was hard.
And
When I
she
showed him the bouquet, then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
I think she's the murderer, I'm not gonna lie. So,
When
because
I
she
showed
took him
them-
out to
when
the...
I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the.
What was
the
he
ground
doing
was
there?
hard. Took me some time, so I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new.
The truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that
Contradict,
day.
head to grave. No, that doesn't. 90% of murders are committed by women. Last one wasn't. So, we know...
When I showed him the
We know
then the
this is a
boy asked to be
contradiction.
taken to
How
the
do we,
rear field
despite the
before funeral,
conflict of
so
the
I let him out
testimonies
the
or
back
evidence
exit.
that suspect insist the following true, then the boy asked to be taken. So this is a contradiction. How do we? Can I just click on everything? Is this like, yeah, you can do anything you want, and he'll just like say, you're contradicted. I can't even click on her third eye at the moment. So, we know there's a contradiction. How do we handle these? How do we resolve this? Who is telling the truth? We know one person's got integrity.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for him.
Let's ask about it. So when you last saw him, he headed towards the grave. That is right.
Then I took a...
Are you certain there was no one around? There was nobody. So the grave was dug this afternoon. Yes. I was surprised by the short notice. Okay, so she greeted Isaac. Other person.
The truth.
You didn't notice anything about the victim at the time? No, he seemed normal, healthy young man. Accuser, I can. So, opportunity was when? She had opportunity when she was showing him the bouquet. He killed Isaac while he was visiting the mortuary to fetch the bouquet. I admit he came in by, but he left shortly afterwards. If he died in the mortuary, that... Oh yeah, true. Wait, so that means I can accuse the guy, Abraham, because he has means there. Oh wait, that was enough. The other opportunity, because his body was moved, this is when it happened. If he died in the mortuary, why was his body found in the grave? When was the other opportunity? When you were doing final preps. After you dismissed Abraham, you weren't finished preparation for Mother Mary's burial. You dragged the victim's body to the grave, hoping to bury it before anyone arrived. Aha. Means. What means did she have? If you think I did it, then tell me how could I have done it? The tools, right? The surgical tools. The surgical tools, it's designed for precise incisions into hardened tissue. It would have sliced through a living body with ease. Okay, but we need a motive. What motive would we have? I've never met the victim before today. Why would I want to kill him? What would I gain? That's the problem. What would she gain from this? She was pissed off at the bouquet. Because she was a famine survivor. My past has nothing to do with the victim. I don't have evidence on her to tell her why she would do it. Why would she do it? I don't think saying the bouquet is enough. Yeah, that's not enough. I think it needs to be a psychological thing. Okay, let's move to Abraham.
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot.
Opportunity when you were taking a break. Let's assume that Isaac passed through the mortuary and headed towards the rear field. You were the only one nearby digging the grave for the funeral. And once Isaac arrived, you attacked him and buried him. That's ridiculous. I was alone at all that time. Okay, we got the mean with the opportunity. We're missing something from the contradiction at taking Isaac to exit. Yeah, I know, but I don't know how to find out how. Means. So how did you kill him? You had the sickle. Present the sickle. The sickle could have been used to slice up the body's victim. Didn't this belong to you? Of course it was mine. I used it to cut the grass. Okay, so motive. What motive could he have at all? Integrity? Because he saw him taking a break. Yes, I tried to live an honest life as I can. No, that would not make me want to kill the boy. Because he was caught taking a break. Okay, no. Nobility? We don't have enough. We're still missing the contradiction of when he could have killed him. My bad. So we don't have motive. We don't have motive for anyone yet. We need to find the motive to discover why. Let's see Augustine.
I arrived.
So opportunity was when he discovered the grave. You were first at the body to find the body. Augustine, you were alone in the rear field den. In truth, that when you killed him and threw his body into the grave. Fascinating theory. I will concede that the opportunity is valid, if somewhat strange. Okay, so we have that. Means. What means did he have? The surgical tools he didn't steal? That's not a motive. That's the problem. They're not motives. We don't know what they are. When we talk, we don't even have means for him.
The truth is that the apprentice did come
So
by.
bloodied
He asked for
liver. That's Miriam's embodied liver. It's a rather deformed. What happened to it? My apologies. I'm assuming that's his liver, and this is her liver. It's an embodied liver. You can tell by the patchy cut discoloration. But why? We need a motive. And we need to find her.
When I showed him the bouquet, then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit. Mid-afternoon, then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
But there is a contradiction there. The messed up liver is Isaac's. Yeah, the bloodied one. Hide her evidence. Yeah, I know, but how do we find? Maybe there's some piece of evidence that we don't have. That's the liver. That's the body. That's the bouquet. That's the tool. I can't shoot her. The print useful body. This embroidered body. Let's talk about that one. Let's talk about Miriam. Mother Miriam was beloved by everyone at St. Walpurgis. Okay. But why was her body like mangled? Embodied body. Ask her about that. Mother Miriam, that was the body I was preparing for the funeral tonight. What a horrible way to die. At least her inner organs were intact. Contradict that. Bloody liver. Ooh! The liver is still bloody. How could you possibly claim that it was that it is ready for burial? I couldn't finish the burial preparations in time because I misplaced my surgical tools. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Okay, contradiction. This one. Oh. So that was a contradiction to her. So, we can't actually do anything about that. Oh, so she looked for her tools. Look at that.
Early this afternoon, after Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
But then that contradicts him, right? Because he said that
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
she was already there. So contradict the multi-tool. No? How is that not contradiction? Alright, let's see what else she has. Let's see what else she's saying.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Okay, so she's not pleased with the results. Oh, she does have a third eye. Oh, I didn't notice that, my bad. Okay, so carnivorous. Carnivorous. So she's a carnivore, huh? But that doesn't... Bannon enjoys exotic cuts of meats, especially fresh entrails and organs. Yeah, I know, right? So can we say accuse her? She likes to eat. Sister, I admit I enjoy meat, sometimes even sinfully. On days of fasting, but always repent I am cleansed. Why Why would that make me want to kill someone? I can buy what I want from the butchery. I'd never... Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I wanted to accuse her. But we have now her looking for
After
a multi-tools.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier.
But there was
I'm not
already
pleased
a
with the
embroidered liver. And I can't say anything about that. Her surgical tools. The muddy footprints. Bam. Explain these muddy footprints. They indicate that someone left and returned to the mortuary during the rain. Given that Father Augustine remained outside and that Abraham left before the rain, these must be your footprints. I'm sorry, Sister Ada, for the lies and for the filth. I can't wait to clean up. I admit I did step outside briefly to search for my multi-tool, but since it was raining, I couldn't find anything. So the embalming remained sadly unfinished. Okay, why was that? I hate that. Sometimes I just look at a word and I'm like, what the hell?
After Abraham left, I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
So she just stood outside. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because the multi-tool was outside. So if I contradict her saying the multi-tool was actually outside...
I did what I could without making new incisions.
So she
but
ran
that made
here.
things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results. Just after
Her
dark,
footprints still
I
don't
heard a
match.
scream from the back field.
So her footprints still don't match these ones. These ones show her running up here, so there's still more there. So she's definitely the killer. We can confirm that. She murked him.
I was desperate to find.
She
the
went
tool to
out here
finish
and
my
murked
work.
him.
I tried searching outside, but I
Accuse.
couldn't find anything in the rain.
Opportunity fit when you were searching outside. I asked her about the strange one and she didn't say anything. I'll do it again after. If you dismissed Abraham when you're searching for the multi-tool, you dragged the victim's body to grave hoping it would bury it before someone arrived. Yeah. Let's accuse her on the strange one. Contradict. I don't think that contradicts what I said. Okay, we need something to contradict what she said. Schedule. Unrestricted access. Ask her about that. Try to finish embalming strange liver. She clearly did it. This is a smaller branch of the ceremony, a quieter space. I don't know how to like
I could without making new incisions.
ask. How did you hope to finish the embalming without your tools? I started pulling the organs out with my hands and sealing the incisions with bandages. She doesn't see a contradiction there. Okay, so she did try and finish the embalming apparently, but no one can say that she wasn't there. So what could she have? So the muddy footprints, the bouquet is still on the floor. The sickle is. Let's ask him about the sickle, huh? Abraham.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting.
Bam. The sickle was found by the gravestone that you were supposedly polishing. Admit it, Abraham, you left it there. Fine, of course I had the sickle. I had to tend to the grass around the graves. I didn't mention it because I thought it would make me look suspicious. Not again. Now you've made yourself even more suspicious. Amend your testimony. Okay. Aha.
So
So he went
through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Then he was tending to...
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
This explains why him sitting on the bench wasn't in the stroll, in Augustine's stroll, what do you call it, when he was explaining that part. because he was actually going here, trimming the grass at the noble graves. Then he heard the scream, dropped it, and rushed over. But he dropped it there. Huh. I don't think that matters. Okay. So what did Augustine see?
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard,
So he did see him there.
observing
Okay.
and admiring. At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard. Then I passed through the grave. I arrived at the graveyard with Then I passed through the graveyard. For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
So she searched outside at one point, but didn't see the body. But then later on, the body was found there, and no. Okay, so at least we know he trimmed the grass then.
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
Accuser of the. So you're saying this?
I did when I showed him the bouquet.
Accuse. I can't.
He held it for a moment and then threw it on the
Oh,
floor.
accuse her.
I suppose it.
Motive. Oh, I see. Because of the bouquet. No, you can't accuse for an item on like this. You have to accuse for a psychological reason. So the motive has to be a psychological evidence. The event, third eye. Oh, I forgot. We found some truth. Oh. What was another evidence? Grief. Ah. Let's ask him about that. I'll never forget that night. Someone torched our house trying to burn us alive. Of course the gods never caught the arsonist. How could... Motive. He could be the arsonist. That boy had nothing to do with my family's death. I had no reason to hurt him. Okay, I thought maybe, you know, that boy was the arsonist. You never know. Okay. So we know he dug the grave, but no one can confirm that. Apart from that, the grave was dug. Let's ask him about the shovel. That's my shovel. It was, it's built to last. Good works. Contradict him on some stuff. Let's see. Ask Augustine about grief. Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga.
Grief. He doesn't know. No info. Okay, so what can we contradict him on? So she didn't. I don't think
When
she
I showed
said.
him. The truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked
She
for a
didn't see
bouquet for the
anything.
funeral later that day.
Oh, ask him about
I
the.
arrived at the graveyard
bouquet.
with Isaac.
It's beautiful. Was it with Isaac? I had asked him to fetch me a bouquet. Strange. Aha. So he thinks it's beautiful. Okay. Contradict? I don't know.
Then I passed through the graveyard.
I don't think he's
until
done
I saw
anything
the
wrong
statue
at all.
of Saint Walpurga. Wow,
He seems
craftsmanship.
way
When
too
I showed
good.
him the bouquet.
Oh wait, did she have a third eye? Was her third eye active? Oh, it was. What else are you hiding? Cannibal. Aha. It's because you eat humans. Your Astoter childhood? Austerter childhood had led you to develop a deep craving for exotic meats, especially a certain rare flesh that had sustained you in the time of need. Austerter. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Working as an embalmer must have tempted you day in and out. You were so virtuous for so long. You would handle the organs as part of the preparation for the bodies. You could easily imagine the taste and the texture, yet you resisted. Then Isaac arrived, and the demon spoke. You could no longer ignore the hunger. A fresh, juicy liver at your fingertips. it would be so much tastier than the cold entrails you handled from the corpses. Accuse her!
Ain Suf sees all, Nerissa.
That's what's behind her mask.
You are the only person who could have killed Isaac.
You
You
were
deny
right
it?
all along, Jaffa.
Curse you, and curse Ain Suf. How can the eye see all? Does it see my suffering?
Yo, her third eye closed. Look at that.
Where was Ain Suf when my family was dying in the street? Chewing on leather just to live another day.
The famine was a test, Nerissa. Ain Suf wanted you to demonstrate your faith, your will to live.
Have you ever felt true hunger? When you haven't eaten for days, reality shifts. The body needs.
We all have our challenges set out before us, Nerissa. Some more difficult than others.
Do you think I was the only one that fed on human flesh?
Haven't eaten for days. That's weak. Bro, she turned to cannibalism because she got hungry. I guess it could have been like months, to be fair. Because it was like a famine. She could have been just starving in the street for it. But still.
It's not for me to judge what you did back then. That's between you and your confessor. But today, you murdered an innocent youth so that you could feed on his liver. A daemon has possessed you.
Right, Jeff, They don't have breaks in 2192. I don't know what year it is, honestly. I know it looks like hella advanced. But she could have been poor and starving? You know them ones?
Confess, Nerissa. Speak the truth. It is time.
This afternoon at around 2 o'clock, I informed Abraham of the funeral schedule. Let's see her actual
Early
events.
this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. The truth is, that boy did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. When I brought him to the bouquet table, I don't know what came over me. The hunger clenched my belly suddenly. I've seen the butchers do it. It only took a quick slash to his throat, and he fell to the floor. I knew where to get the best cut. His liver. It was still warm. I couldn't believe the taste. Like nothing I've eaten before. Heavenly.
Then Abraham came.
Then, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. My senses were
Oh, he left that
returning,
way.
and I cleaned up my mess. I sealed the boy's body, putting the liver from the body I had been embalming inside and sealing it. I carried him to the new grave and quickly tossed him in. I heard someone coming, so I didn't have time to bury him. I was shaking with adrenaline.
She just dropped the body.
In my hurry to return to the mortuary, my multi-tool must have slipped out of my apron's pocket. I stored what
Multi-tool?
was left of the liver among the other entrails, hoping to finish it later.
The blood's
I
completely gone
wanted
from
to
that carpet.
savor its deep, rich flavors. Sooner than I anticipated, I heard a scream from the backfield. Someone had already discovered the body.
So that's what happened. Raw. She just murked him in the middle of her room. Okay, now what?
I stored what sooner than I anticipated. I heard a scream from the backfield. Someone had already discovered the body.
Oh, there we go.
Nerissa's wretched soul is twisted by demonic influence. I must speak the daemon's true name. Ain Suf, guide me.
Right,
What
so
daemon has possessed Nerissa?
who could have... It's not envy. Is she proud, promising them their heart's desires in exchange for... No. I think it might be gluttony. The host is compelled to consume stranger and filthier things until nothing remains of their humanity. Vengeful... Yeah, I think it is the gluttonous. Yeah, Beelzebub.
Out, Beelzebub! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
No! We must feed!
What was that? What was his voice?
Nerissa, delicious, scrumptious little morsel. We must have more. The hunger is an endless pit. More!
Speak, Beelzebub. Why has your kind returned?
Hunger is a primal need.
Yeah, then... But why did you return?
Just as you feed on lesser life forms, growing them in captivity for slaughter, we feed on you. The meat of your emotions, the marrow of your deepest desires.
You will prey upon us no longer, Beelzebub. Return to the ether, and never come back.
I must obey for now, but we won't be gone too long. Tonight, Lucifer will open the gates of hell. I won't be the only one allowed to feast.
How much longer is the stream gonna go for? This is maximum entertainment. So, once I get through to the the end of this chapter, I'm gonna end the stream. Sadly, because I still do have work tomorrow.
Ada, you juicy little morsel. We shall devour you soon. You and all the other delicacies.
But we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. to finish probably the entire game. I'll probably, if not tomorrow, it'll definitely be finishing the game on Saturday. Then I'll check out the game you recommended.
Nerissa. Do you hear me, Nerissa? Was I too late? Goodbye, Nerissa.
Goodbye.
May Ain Soph make you whole again.
So this is the power of an exorcist. I've dreamed of seeing this. It looks a bit different than I imagined, however. What's happening to her?
Oh, she just breathed down my neck. That was loud as hell. Oh, she's going mental. Monka S.
Ada, look out!
Huh?
Halt, Nerissa.
Oh! Did he just body her?
Good, I've stunned her.
Stunned? Did man just sucker punch her? And she's just like, yeah, she's stunned.
Are you alright, Sister Ada?
Yes. You came just in time. My thanks, Virgil.
Ein Soph, save us! Another possession! Another killing! How is this possible? Who is responsible? Virgil, you have failed us. How could you allow this to happen?
Unfortunately, Father, I believe you are primarily responsible. We should have listened to Ada. She warned us about the contaminated body, and its demons spread, just as she said.
We must
Oh.
act now. We can't waste any more time bickering about who's to blame. The daemon within Nerissa spoke of Lucifer's return. He walks among us.
It's perverse that they would return now on the holiest of days. Why? Are we being punished?
The fucking Gregory, I'm betting that he's gonna have Lucifer in him at the end. It's gonna be like, it was me, Lucifer. This is why this happened.
It doesn't matter why. The Abbey is unsafe, Father. Cancel the Mass. Send the pilgrims home. If you proceed, you are risking all their lives.
No, Father. You must stay the course. We've worked too hard for this moment.
Right, imagine that. You do an entire pilgrimage to go to like a holy site. Then at the entrance, they're like, yeah, about that. Can you just walk back? Come back tomorrow, maybe, or next week. Imagine that. You're like walking for like, what's a pilgrimage? Like a month, maybe? In like the old days. And then just motherfuckers are like, Could you come back another day? We're a bit closed right now.
I have decoded the ancient hymn of communion. The Mass can proceed as planned.
Oh, never mind.
This chance will not come again for another century. It's literally the last chance we have in our lifetime.
What is the significance of that hymn? Why must it be sung tonight?
According to Augustine's research, it honors Saint Walpurga and her victory in a way uniquely pleasing to Ein Sof.
I protest. But if you absolutely must hold the Mass, at least allow me to guard you at the altar.
COVID regulations and that. Yeah, 6 people for the pilgrimage at once, you know. They're gonna turn everyone away afterwards.
You are putting yourself in danger. What if you were possessed?
He is definitely possessed. He's probably got Lucifer in him, bro.
That may be unwise, Father. Surely if things are as dangerous as you say, nobody should be trusted.
Yeah, even... I trusted this guy so much this run. Bro, I didn't trust him, but he was trustworthy this run, I should say.
How do we know this supposed exorcist is not the pawn of Lucifer?
This run, I mean like last mission.
That's absurd! You witnessed the exorcism!
No, I saw her turn a woman into a rabid beast. What really transpired in the ether when she supposedly exorcised these demons?
She said its name, it walked away.
She invokes the demons' names. She knows them more intimately than any of us.
Ooh.
I speak their names to control them and then banish them. You know this.
Or perhaps you are being used by them. How would we know?
The only thing that possesses me is the flame of Ein Sof. I shouldn't have to defend myself.
So if to vanquish a demon, you need to say his name, wouldn't you just go up to someone and just shout every single demon's name, and then one of them will just react? It'll be like, it'll just start hissing at you. They'll be like, don't do it again. Or just like vanish. They'll be like, ah, you have found me after 19 attempts.
Actually, what Augustine says makes sense. We should be extra cautious, just in case.
Yeah, what do you mean it sounds long? There's like 3 people that could possibly be. You have like 5 demons. Seven deadly sins. Nah, there were only like 4 of them there.
I don't want you at the Mass.
7
if you
deadly
truly believe
sins.
Lucifer lurks at my abbey, find him. Unmask him. Search the grounds as you like, but stay away from the chapel or I will have you put in a cell.
What if Lucifer's in the chapel then?
Nothing can be permitted to interrupt the Mass and the hymn, especially after the events of today. Saint Walpurga deserves to be honored for her victories.
Yeah, he's definitely evil, and he's probably got Lucifer in the like chapel.
Inquisitor, Augustine, come. We have much to prepare. Very wise, Father. As always. Farewell, sister.
It would be best if you were wrong, Ada.
That's because it is. Lucifer will strike tonight, Virgil. I only pray he strikes at me instead of at the Mass.
It would definitely be like best if she was wrong, because then there wouldn't be a demon. But she's probably right.
Stay vigilant.
Okay, that's the end of this chapter, I believe.